straight to the source. Did Joe Biden have plastic surgery? And I've got the experts to tell you the answer. We've got Dr. Mark Estein from Long Island, New York. Mark, how are you? And Dr. Jason Pozner from Boca Raton, Florida. Two international experts, and we're going to tell you here on No Spin Live. But before you get to that, Jason, I have to just say, your team, they crushed us. They crushed the Dallas Stars yesterday. So Stanley Cup's over. What can I say? It was a good battle, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah, hats off to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Even though you said that wasn't your team, but still, it's a Florida team. So
it's a Florida team. It was close enough.
And then the Rangers and Islanders, they had a rough go this year, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
But you see, the Gators are ranked number 3 right now.
They are. They're looking good.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I got my cowboy hat on. We're like, what, 1-2? I'm acting like they're the world beaters, and they're 1-2. You know, so
you gotta go follow college. You'd be better off.
Yeah. All right, listen. Let's get into this. You know, it's been the talk of the town, talk of the world. This whole thing blew up last week. You know, about Joe Biden. People are saying, oh, he definitely had plastic surgery. There's a lot of questions about Joe Biden. To me, whether he had plastic surgery is the least of them in terms of his health and that sort of thing. But, you know, that's where the expertise is. So I'm sure you all can shed some light on it. So, Mark, you lead us off.
I think, plastic surgery these days is about as mainstream as taking vitamins. But if you want to get down to it, just go back to an old episode of Saturday Night Live and you can see his original hair transplant. It's very plug-like, and now it's nice and smooth. He's clearly had micrografting done, and it looks a lot better. So I think he definitely has it.
Who has better hair, Trump or Biden?
I'm sorry, who has what?
Who has better hair?
That's
I like the flow. As you can tell, it's all about the flow. So Trump's got great flow.
He's got the sweep.
My God.
So
I don't have that problem.
Mark,
we need a bald president.
How do you do a hair transplant? People are probably saying, what do you mean you had a hair transplant? So what does that mean? How's that done?
Well, he had the hair transplant probably back in the 70s or 80s, where they use a round punch, about 4 millimeters in size. They go to the back where the hair is genetically determined to continue growing until you stop breathing. So those hair follicles, no matter where you put them, will always grow. So you take a little punch of skin and you cut out some blank spots. I know all about this because I had it done in the 80s. And when you're just starting to thin a little bit, it looks like, it looks okay. But then when you start losing the rest of the hair, it starts looking like a row of, like a doll, they call it very pluggy. And then you end up with little rows, looks like palm trees of hair growing up. And it's not very flattering. So the next step is micrografting, where you take a strip of skin from the same area, but you cut it up under magnification into little pieces of skin that have like 1, 2, or 3 hair follicles in it, and you put it in between the plugs, and then you get a much more natural hairline. Mine does not have that plug-like look, but if you saw pictures of me 15 years ago, it looked terrible.
You could also do follicular unit extraction, where if instead of taking a strip, they take actually a little plug out of the back and then dice it up. That's another way of doing it.
Either the NeoGraft or the Artist robot, and
with a smart graft.
Advanced. They're even getting it now where the robot can actually put the hair follicles back in.
Yeah. I'm too far gone. It's not happening for me. I got the nice shiny head. Last time I was at Plastic Surgery Channel Studio, the makeup girl had to keep touching up my head because I was blinding everybody.
It's not about having less hair.
You're looking good though, Jason.
Look at that shine.
What do you think, Jason? What do you think? So what do you think about Joe Biden?
I think.
Did he or didn't he?
Who cares? Like really, who gives a shit whether Biden had, plastic surgery? I want to know if he beats Trump, is he going to raise my damn taxes? That's more important to me than whether he had plastic surgery, because if he raises our taxes, then all these patients are going to stop coming to us because they can't afford us anymore. They're going to be paying more money in taxes, right?
Yeah.
So, but listen, I want to look at him. I was looking at his pictures a couple hours ago. He doesn't have a bad neck. He has a little bit of, he's possible that he had a facelift in the past. He could probably do for a little redo now, but I think for a guy in his mid-70s, he doesn't look too bad. He has nice facial structure. He looks pretty good, so I don't know about the
Probably
inside, but the outside
some
doesn't
fillers,
look bad.
Botox. Probably
Yeah.
some fillers and Botox.
Like if you're running for president, wouldn't you go get Botox and fillers? You want to look your
I mean,
best. You could be on
I
TV.
think if you're like a human and you're more than 18, you probably should be getting it. But
yeah, you want, especially when in your position where youth equals people think that he's too old. The same thing with Trump. So if I was in his shoes, I would try my best to look as young as possible with toxins and fillers. He probably doesn't have time for anything more invasive right now, but why not? I mean, they're very low risk procedures. I would certainly do it if I was in his shoes. The problem is we've got two old guys running now. It's not like the days of where you had Obama, who first ran in his 40s. These guys are in their 70s.
Yeah.
Well,
so what other? So I guess Mark, if Biden comes to you and says, "All right, what can I do? Let's gonna give my chances the best of kind of looking like a younger guy." And what's our
time frame? What's our time frame? 3 weeks before the election or unlimited time frame? I think that's the first thing.
Let's do both. That's a short term. Like a quick fix, and then what would be the best fix?
Well, quick fix in the short term. I mean, basically skincare. Do some BBL, maybe a little radio frequency skin tightening, although that takes a while to work. Little volumization, a little bit of neurotoxin. Those kind of things, those kind of tweaks, I think, are a good idea. In the long term, I'd really have to sit down in front of him and really take a good look to figure out what he needs.
Jason, you got a bunch of things.
I'm faster than you, dude. I mean, to me, long-term facelift and some laser resurfacing, maybe some fat grafting. Boom, boom, boom. Get that neck nice and tight. Look great on the Zoom calls. When he's standing at the podium. Facelift for me, long-term. Short-term, look, I don't care about his skin. There's nobody who's on the campaign circuit now who's not doing full makeup before every appearance. I don't really care what's on his skin. Doesn't matter. But what I would do is I'd try to hit him with something for a little bit of tightening. I'd probably use soft waves right now. Bill and I had a good experience with that. It can't hurt you. There's no downtime. There's no bleeding. I'd hit him with that right now, or any of the other RF devices, because you'll get some tightening out of it. That's where I would go with this. And then I would just toxins and fillers. Bring up his jawline a little bit, lift up the neck, but totally keep it nice and simple. Don't make him look like Kenny Rogers. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Trump, if it was Trump, I'd tell him, if Trump came to me and said what to do, I said, dude, you got to lose like 20 pounds. He got a little fatter during his presidency, the high stress job. I'd have him do what the Bushes did. I mean, George Jr. was really fit and working out quite a bit. He was a big runner. So I think that's really important. Obama played basketball. Trump just walks around the golf course. I would get his butt in gear and try to get him to lose 20 pounds and make him more physically fit. That's what I would recommend for him. And if he had time, I would do his neck, because I'm itching to do Trump's neck.
You can do. There's some cool non-invasive things we were talking about this last weekend. So
right. I mean, soft waves is probably the best tightening device that doesn't break the skin, or one of the microneedling RF devices. I think would be good for that. But both guys are in their 70s. If they were in my practice and I had enough time, I would both offer them facelifts.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, there you have it. So Joe Biden, for sure, had plastic surgery, according to our experts. And, probably Trump did too. And like Jason says, who cares? It's what everybody does. And if it makes you look better and feel better about yourself, then why not? So listen, if you want to see more of this, you can see it on theplasticsurgerychannel.com.